Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm King Sway, and welcome back to the channel. Sorry about that. I'm not editing this part out. Sorry about that. I'm about to take a swig.
The cursed god killer from Dark Souls.
The last Dragonborn, the dragon-slaying savior of Skyrim.
Designed in captivity, these two demi.
Take a swig of my tea. Now, what we're doing today is a debunked video. So, it's the first time I've ever done a debunked video. Hopefully, I do okay with this. But I've actually done a reaction to this particular video, the death battle of the chosen undead versus the Dragonborn, and I did not like the points that they had. Actually, the points that they had were not points, in my personal opinion. So what I'm going to do is, after explaining this point right here, I'm going to let the battle play out so that you guys can see it, and then after the battle is done, I'm going to take my points. So if you want to go ahead and skip straight to the points that I have to contradict what's been said by Death Battle, you know what to do. Go ahead and skip ahead until after they get done fighting. So we're going to cut that and do that right here.
It's time for a death battle!
Go and stop this fool who would let the flame burn the age of humans to ashes. The Ancients of Dark will do anything to snuff out the light. Save us, chosen undead. Save this world, chosen warrior! Blink the fire! Let true dark be cast upon the world. Our Lord hath returned.
This debate was fascinating.
The Dragonborn had a wider variety of training, better access to summons, and magic that passively regenerated.
They've defeated Nido, the god of death, the bed of chaos, the mother of all demon kind, and Calamite, the strongest surviving ancient dragon.
That was when the chosen undead was dragged back in time to face the fallen knight Artorias, the greatest warrior in history. And not only defeat him, but accomplish the greatest feat attributed to Artorias' legend, the destruction of Manus, the father of the abyss that threatened to consume the world.
They've even beaten other chosen undead from alternate worlds, like the best buddy in all gaming, Salim.
They're a master with swords, hammers, spears, axes, bows, you name it. And that's without any formal training. With the right stats and setup, they can be anything from a cartwheeling assassin to a dragon-smashing tank.
Now, this is where I start my point of contention. They say that the Dragonborn has better training, but this is when they also say that the chosen undead is a master at pretty much whatever weapon he picks up. Also want to say that I will be reusing clips to speak over, but I'll also be reusing clips to illustrate my points. So you might see the same clip over and over again. I apologize in advance. The Dragonborn is supposed to have better training. This is not true, because Artorias was a knight of Gwyn. And if you've played Dark Souls, so as I said, something in my throat, you know that they had training. They have training, they have structure. This is the part where they say it bolts of sunlight, and it was bolts of lightning, not sunlight. That's another thing they got wrong. They have training. They have structure. No knight was ever just thrown the title of knight. And Artorias was supposed to be the greatest warrior. So, and the Dragonborn, the chosen undead walks up and beats Artorias. You can't beat the greatest. Apologies. You can't beat the greatest warrior in history without training. So that's the point to say, how does the Dragonborn have better training? If anything, the Dragonborn's training might be equal to that of the chosen undead. But the Dragonborn would not have greater training at all. You cannot. This is why I have a problem with people who've never been in a fight deliberating on fighting things, because they don't know how things go. You can't. That's like me just picking up a sword and going up against a guy that's trained his entire life. Literally, they're trying to say what the difference is, in my personal opinion. I'm pretty sure you guys are going to come for me down in the comments, but I don't care. You know I shoot back. The training needed to beat the best warrior in history would have to be immense. And if you go back to the first... Hold on, baby. Hold on. Easy does. If you go back to the first Dark Souls game, the first cover, it's a guy who's holding a shield in his right hand and a sword in his left hand. And it's... I don't remember whether or not it's confirmed, but it has been stated that was Artorias before he broke his arm. So the guy is right-handed to begin with, and he fights you with his left hand. And the dude is still one hell of a battle, and the guy is still scary as hell because that fight is hard. So that's one point. It's not better training. So we'll get into the next point.
The Dragonborn was significantly faster, too. The chosen undead could dodge beams of light, sure, but Oriel's bow could fire arrows that move at least 250 times that.
If you don't see what's wrong with that, I don't know what to tell you. The chosen undead moves themselves. Can dodge light, which means they move faster than light. Because I shoot an arrow does not mean I move at the same speed of that said arrow. That's common sense. I don't even know how they let themselves speak that. So yeah, that means the chosen undead has a drastic speed advantage. And I know some of you are going to go, oh, well, time stop. Time stop does not actually stop time. And I'm making a video, baby. My kids are. It's summer vacation. My kids are home. And again, I'm not editing this part out. Some of you guys are saying time stop. It doesn't stop time. It slows it dramatically, or if anything, what it does is creates dilated vision and perception, which means it's like Sharingan. I see what you're gonna do in the minute details that you're about to do, and I can react to it and seem faster. But time stop does not actually stop time, for those who have actually played the game. And that's something else they got wrong, was the speed of the Dragonborn. Which, yeah, no. Because I shoot an arrow does not mean I move as fast as that arrow. If that's the case, I must be faster than the Flash. Or at least Quicksilver. Because I can shoot an arrow pretty fast, pretty far. Like, alright. So, we're going to go on to the next point.
The giantest of dads. And despite the serious gothic themes of the series, these weapons can get anime as hell. Smo's great hammer is a ginormous mallet the size of a sedan.
Based on its size and likely bronze composition, it'd have to weigh over 100 tons. A lot like Goff's great bow, which can shoot pillar-sized arrows and one-shot dragons out of the sky.
Or my favorite, damage. They can just drink a potion or nosh on a cheese wheel and be good as new. And they can carry up to 150 cheeses at once. My dream.
Assuming these abnormally large cheese wheels have an average weight of 70 pounds, we can determine that the Dragonborn can carry up to 10,500 pounds of cheese.
And that makes sense, considering they can match muscles with giants who are so strong they can shatter the game's spaghetti code to pieces.
Yeah, baby, Daddy's recording right now. Now, I don't know about you, but last time I checked, 100 tons, which is 200,000 pounds, beats 10,500 pounds. So there is a drastic, because if you've played Dark Souls, you know you can actually wield Smo's hammer, which means you have to be strong enough to wield that hammer. And by their own calculations, which are wrong on the Dragonborn's end, the chosen undead is still drastically, physically more powerful than the Dragonborn. Now, I said it in my original video when I said with the reaction to it that they got the cheese wrong, because flat out for long they did. The cheese says it's 2 pounds. Now, those cheese wheels are not abnormally large. I say that because my wife works in a deli. She's a manager in a deli. When I go see her sometimes, I have to deal with that. They aren't large. They don't weigh 70 pounds. You are graciously giving more to the Dragonborn than what is actually allotted. They're like 5 pounds. They're not that big. They're not that heavy. And even then, it's stated in the game itself, in the footage they used, those cheese wheels are 2 pounds. So you crank that up by 35 times. So his strength would actually be reduced by 35 times that. So, but still, even if you are given that 10,500 pound strength to the Dragonborn, I see you trying to creep in. You still have to take in consideration that the chosen undead is drastically stronger. It's something like that is tens of times, like 20 times stronger than the Dragonborn. You're going on, and it's, I want to say, I don't know, Captain America versus Thor, Batman versus Superman, as far as feats of strength go, because again, their own calculations, you got to go by that. So with that going on, we're going to go to the next point. So here we go.
Oh, why didn't the chosen undead just keep coming back until they eventually won? Like with any Dark Souls boss.
One word, power. The Dragonborn had way more and greater feats of raw power than the chosen undead.
Oh yeah, like summoning country-spanning storms with a single shout, or defeating Mirek, who split a continent.
There's also the lore. Both characters are essentially mythological demigods in the same kind of vein as Hercules or Sun Wukong. Gameplay alone won't give you the best idea of their full power as characters.
So let's get an idea of their max potential from the lore.
The chosen undead sustaining the first flame with their soul was insanely impressive. Considering the first flame is responsible for the core concepts of the universe, like energy and time, it's not a stretch to say it affects not just the planet they live on, but the whole universe.
But that's nothing compared to the power levels in the Elder Scrolls.
Let's compare the first flame to Alduin. Both literally run on the power of souls, and both can be directly scaled to our combatants.
Alduin had strength to consume the universe, not just Nirn, but the Kalpa as well.
You know those planets you see in the sky? According to cosmology, those are actually separate, infinitely big planes of reality. Alduin was going to eat infinity. Multiple infinities.
In comparison, the first flame is powerful enough to sustain a universe and the flow of time. But it can't be infinite, otherwise it never would have faded to begin with.
And that meant the chosen undead just wasn't powerful enough no matter how many times they revived. With that much of a difference in power, the chosen undead would eventually lose their will to fight and go hollow.
Now, I understand that the lore of Skyrim says that Alduin is supposed to eat every infinity, but that is bullshit. Flat out, full on, period. Because at the height of his power, before he got shot through time, he wasn't devouring infinities. And it states that the Dragonborn, not the Dragonborn, the chosen undead, his soul powers everything, but it's not infinite. Well, the point of infinity is say it never ends. So if Alduin can eat it, it has an end. So you can't eat infinity. That point is a contradiction full out altogether. And if Alduin were capable of eating it, as I said before, he'd have eaten at the height of his power before, when there were dragon priests and worshippers and people worship dragons, and people were all afraid of dragons and whatnot. Not after he got pushed through time. Yeah, his power is supposed to be like the Big Bang, or not the Big Bang, be like what extinguished the dinosaurs and whatnot. But again, the power of the chosen undead soul is strong enough, as I say that this point is coming up, is strong enough to power everything, all concepts of reality for 1,000 years. That is a vast difference as opposed to just what the Dragonborn can do. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys are going to disagree with me because, infinity, as I said before, if it ends, it's not infinity. And if Alduin can eat it, it's not infinite. You put too much emphasis on that. But I'm going to end the video here. Thanks for tuning in. Down in the description below will be links to my merch shop, will be links to my the books that I have published, and a link to my Patreon. And I will have videos like this that I'm working on in my Patreon. In the meantime, between time, me and my kids, thank you for tuning in. Always in between time. Always with these peace signs. I'm your main man, King Sway. I'm going to catch you in the next one.